From a compilation of articles by Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach Portnaar, How to Deal with the Holidays. Once again, we ended up back in the period of the months ending with September, October, November, and December. These months belong to the period that contains a half year of Achoraim, backside, namely from September to February. Once again, I bring it back in your memory because we already learned it, but each time it fled from man. This is the period we forget all the things we once learned. This is the time we have to be very conscious about the things we once learned. How was it a year ago? What did we learn from this period? We are standing at the threshold of a dark period. Nighttime falls earlier. The night is longer. There will be more rain, and of course this will influence our mood. Our cells react also. Their openness is gone too because the sky is clouded. Therefore our cells can't expand. They shrink. From within it's the same. When this period arrives and you aren't conscious about the things that happens, you will be sad, even depressive, experience all kinds of strange things, tragedies, etc. All the evil will exposure itself in this time of the year, from September till February, but this only happens when man isn't conscious. This afternoon I received an email and the person wrote to me, I have no connection with Judaism, but I feel it is the time of Rosh Hashanah. This is the period of all four natures are standing in front of the Creator. It's scary. Don't think only Jews know of Rosh Hashanah. The whole world will stand in front of Hashem. It isn't necessarily to visit a synagogue just as Jews do. The whole world feels this special vibration, although the reaction can be different. Most of the time their reaction arises from their ignorance. Look, it happened 2 years ago that exactly on the day of Yom Kippur, all the misery of the American banks became known. Just that day when it was Yom Kippur was the announcement of the financial crisis. Don't think this is an exception. This is the period that what lies hidden, what is a lie, is now standing in front of Hashem. What is wrong will be revealed and will be judged. What is the meaning of this judgment? Pay attention. It doesn't matter if one is religious or not. Each person experiences this period as heavy, stuffy, and begins in September and will continue and becomes more heavy during the next half year. We who are learning Kabbalah we who are learning Kabbalah do understand the shining of the panim face only comes after the correction of the achoraim, the back. First there is the achoraim. First there is the light of the achoraim, the back, and then the light of the gar enters our kilim. He who builds up continuously, consistently, and undergoes with joy these months of darkness will come to the light. He will experience the months following these 6 months, from Adar, the month of spring, as a relief. Don't think this time isn't needed. Don't wait and do nothing and think when spring comes, then it will be nice and warm. We are living today in the now. This is the time of the Achoraim. Therefore, we have to act and live patiently, with gratitude and joy during the 6 months. It's part of the annual cycle. It makes a year complete. It's during this period we're building up our strengths so we can go to a higher step. Don't say this is a bad time. This time is part of our personal growth. Also, we need this period. If someone asks me, I have no relationship with Judaism or have no part in their traditions, but I feel the time of Rosh Hashanah is there, then my answer is, what you feel is only the time of Achoraim. They have given it a name. We have learned the name, and of course it is the beginning of a new year. Of course man is standing in front of Hashem. It is a heavy period. All of this is true, but only considering the point of view of man. All the special days and holidays are given at man. It is man himself who determines these days. See it this way. It is written with the Torah. For you, this is a prescription. It is the beginning of the months. All the months of spring I give to you. And this is for you the beginning of the months. But you have to count the months yourself. Who says it's new moon? Of course, man sees this in the sky. But in earlier days, when there was the Sanhedrin, the great meeting, a month stated when there was a testimony of 2 witnesses. And They came from the place where the moon first appeared, and then they came to Jerusalem, and they appointed the time when it happened. This was the beginning of a new month. It was therefore established. Sometimes they celebrate the new moon during 2 days. Why? Then there was nobody coming from the surrounding of Jerusalem while there was the great meeting, but it came from another place, and it took a day before the testimony of 2 witnesses arrived at Jerusalem. Now you know why 2 days. You don't have to celebrate 2 days, just as they do. They don't understand. It's only 1 day new moon, and that's the day you have to celebrate. The thing is, here on earth, man influences the special days. It is given to us to announce all the holidays so each person should know when it took place, and of course it all comes from above. But at the same time, you have to know that from above doesn't exist Rosh Hashanah. There isn't Yom Kippur. There are no special days above, neither Rosh Hashanah nor Yom Kippur or Pesach. It is only given at man. For he who comes further in Kabbalah, the aspect of time disappears. The calendar disappears. Me, for instance, I don't look at the calendar. I have no interest. Please don't let there be a misunderstanding. I don't say you have to do the same as I do. Each one of us has his own development. I don't say don't look at the calendar. I always had said to you, look, these are special days. They have a special outcome because there is benevolence from above. And this is still right. I have never said to you, and I will never say to you, follow me, because each one of us has his own development. For me, the calendar doesn't exist any longer. Of course, I have my agenda containing an appointment with my dentist. What I mean is, I'm talking about the spiritual. Spiritual, I don't need it anymore. In the spiritual, I don't need it anymore. For me, it has died. Why? It has died because from above, it doesn't exist. Above, there are no holidays. A man grows, and first he comes to the worlds of separation. The world Asiyah, Yetzirah, Bria. When he is in these worlds, he lives in separation and doesn't receive the strength coming from the world of Atzilut. Due to this, he needs all the holidays. And let me be clear, I'm not speaking about religious people because this is only a comedy. Yom Kippur, etc., it's one big comedy. I only speak about he who works on himself, just as you are doing. And of course, you may celebrate, you may think at Rosh Hashanah when it suits you. I'm not aware of your level, but for me, it doesn't exist any longer. It's my wife who says to me, today it is Yom Kippur, and my answer is, that's nice. Or she says, today it's Rosh Hashanah. Oh, nice. For me, it doesn't matter whether it's Pesach, Rosh Hashanah, or Yom Kippur. What exists for me is panim, the front face, or achoraim, the back. For me, there is only the 10 sfirot, and not the parties and whatever they give it the people of Israel who maintain the treaty of the flesh. Of course, they had to follow the treaty of the flesh, but only till the coming of Yeshua, and Christians have copied this and do the same. They only gave another meaning to the holidays. They were jealous, and they too wanted to have their own special holidays. All of this actually is considering the treaty of the flesh, while this treaty doesn't exist any longer for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It doesn't exist any longer for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What is there to know? You only have to know the 10 Sfirot, the 10 emanations of the light. Only this is important. 10 Sfirot, 1 Partzuf, and 1 Partzuf consists of 2 parts, under the Chazeh and above the Chazeh. And here is your working area. What is it you have to do? Each time you have to bring in conformity the upper and lower part. The part above the Chazeh with the part under the Chazeh, just as Ze'ah and Nukva. See this as an annual cycle. Above the Chazeh is the period of spring and summer, from March to August. The side of Panim, when man is full of life. That's the period we have contact, because all our cells are going open just as nature. Followed by the period of Achoraim, autumn and winter, the months of September till February. This is a period we too have to pass with all the joy we have within us, patiently, and with courage and strength. And all of this you have to do it by yourself. Don't let the bad weather be of influence or other things that are now a little bit heavier. It's different. This half year differs from the past 6 months. You can compare this with, for instance, the good and the bad. The two periods of a year are similar to a period of good and bad. Autumn and winter, September till March, are similar with the evil, but a good evil, a gerot. And when it is spring and summer, March till August, is similar to chasadim. Now we are stepping in the time of gerot, and this we need too. Because of the gerot, you can build up your strength, your partsuf. Both are necessary for you, for your personal spiritual fulfillment. There comes a moment you will know it is part of your growth, part of your true happiness, part of your development, and your true I. Then look with joy and great pleasure out of your window and feel what is happening during the months of darkness. Whatever you do, do it with joy and happiness, and you will do it with joy and happiness.